Asbestos. In this slideshow, I will be talking about asbestos and the impacts it has on humans and the environment. What is asbestos? Asbestos is a heat-resistant fibrous silicate mineral that can be woven into fabrics and is used in fire-resistant and insulating materials such as brake linings. There are 6 types of asbestos, all of which are composed of long and thin fibrous crystals. Each fiber is composed of multiple microscopic fibrils that can be released into the atmosphere by abrasion and other processes. Other facts about asbestos are its biaxial optical properties. Its formula mass is 277.11 grams. The melting point is 400 to 1040 degrees Celsius. You can read the crystal habits because I can't pronounce those words. And then the colors of asbestos are green, red, yellow, white, gray, and blue. So where does asbestos come from? It was in South Africa that the production of amosite began in 1910. The U.S. asbestos industry had an early start in 1858 when fibrous anthophyllite was mined for use as asbestos insulation by the Johns Company, a predecessor to the current Johns Manville at a quarry at Ward's Hill on Staten Island, New York. Human, environmental, and economic impacts. This slide will specifically talk about human impacts. So here are some diseases caused by asbestos. Asbestosis is a serious, chronic, non-cancerous respiratory disease that can be caused by the inhalation of asbestos fibers, which aggravate lung tissues and cause them to scar. Symptoms of asbestosis include shortness of breath and a dry, crackling sound in the lungs while inhaling. In its advanced stages, the disease may cause cardiac failure. There's also no treatment for this disease. Another disease that can be caused by asbestos is lung cancer. Lung cancer can be caused by asbestos. This causes the largest number of deaths related to asbestos, so it's the most serious. This usually happens to people who are in direct contact with asbestos doing jobs such as mining, milling, and manufacturing asbestos products. Mesothelioma is a rare form of cancer that occurs in thin membrane lining in the chest and lungs and sometimes heart. There are around 200 cases per year in the United States, which is not a lot. People who work in asbestos mines, asbestos mills, and factories and shipyards that use asbestos, as well as people who manufacture and install asbestos insulation, have an increased risk of mesothelioma. Evidence suggests that cancers in the esophagus, larynx, oral cavities, stomach, colon, and kidney may be caused by ingesting asbestos. When construction, demolition, mining, and manufacturing activities release asbestos into the environment, it contaminates the air, where it can be inhaled, water, where it can be ingested, and soil, where it can easily be disturbed and redistributed into the air. Asbestos can remain suspended in the air for long periods of time. It can be carried long distances by wind or water before settling, thus contaminating areas far away from its source. Because asbestos does not break down or biodegrade, it poses a significant risk to humans. Asbestos is being used less and less every year. Its peak year was 1980, where consumption and use was very high. Now, the number of asbestos being used is dropping. The drop in the number of countries producing and consuming asbestos has corresponded directly with the number of bans on asbestos use. So the big question is, how do we fix this issue? We can fix this issue by stopping the production of asbestos entirely over a period of time, of course, which will help the environment and prevent sickness such as lung cancer and asbestosis. Economically, the production of asbestos is already declining heavily and will continue to regardless. Here is a short YouTube video to show you more about asbestos. are some of the references that I have. So my final question is, what is asbestos and what makes it harmful?